Mr. Harris. Here. Mr. Edpool said he'll be late. Mr. McInnes could not make it today. He had another obligation. Mr. Schaefer. Here. Ms. Templeton. Here. Mr. Wright.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Director. Okay, we've gotten our agenda through email. I guess everybody got it. Do I hear a motion for approval of the agenda? Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Ben. All in favor? All opposed?
That's the thing I was asking last time.
Okay, one abstention. Okay, citizens or delegations, we have some representatives from Caliber.
Mr. Chairman, so as you all know, we are going with Caliber as our next head and RMS provider, and Ms. Corn McDaniel is our sales executive. Mr. Chris Fairclough, he is the VP of Sales and Marketing for Caliber, and we're lucky to have them here, and they want us to come in and introduce themselves and have a word with you real quick. So.
Absolutely, thank you.
Go ahead. You got it.
So again, as we said, Corn McDaniel, and this worked out really, really nice to be able to be here, and wanted to put faces with names, and also let you know, I mean, we very much enjoyed working through the project with Michael and his team, and appreciate your support. Absolutely. We're excited to get some things kicked off. It'll be good for some time.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes, we are excited, and I know these two in particular have been working like until 2, 3 in the morning, pretty much every day for the last 6 months, maybe, I don't know. But actually, Michael and I knew each other, or have known each other for a while. I was at with a consulting firm in my previous job, and who knew that we'd be here. In fact, I remember you talking about the CAD project and everything, and so it's nice that it's come full circle, and I'm happy that I can be a part of it with you guys. Really appreciate you guys having us here, and trusting us to be your provider. So we're looking forward to it.
Thank you.
As you all know, this has been about a 1.5 year long process with getting everybody, all the stakeholders involved, all the client agencies, to make sure that we get the right solution in place. So it's been several months back that we realized we knew that Caliber was the best fit for us. So no pressure, Corn and Chris. So yeah, it's perfect. So.
That's right. That's our goal as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so, again, if you guys had any questions, we wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity. Well, we were here in person as well too. I mean, but Michael knows where to find us. So.
Anybody have any questions? I'm relieved of one thing. You said you knew Mike. I'm just glad he didn't arrest you.
Yeah. You just thought I didn't want to walk.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Okay. The approval of minutes from our March meeting. We got those by email as well. Hear a motion for approval on the minutes. Thank you, buddy. Second?
Second.
Thank you, sir. All in favor? All opposed? And then the budget committee, we met on April 10th, Mike, Carolyn, and I. Did I hear approval for those minutes?
It's just for the content. I think legally, even if you're not there, you can vote on what is in the minutes and to approve those minutes.
Okay, we're going to go. Thank you, Paul. Second?
Second.
Thank you. We're going to go over that in a minute. All in favor? All opposed? Okay, financial report, Ms. Karen.
Okay, if you look at your balance sheet, under the LGIP, we've got $809,000 in that account. Turn to page 2, Volunteer State Bank, we've got $5,179,694, a total of $5,989,075. So we're in real good shape financially. And then if you look over the next sheet, which shows what we've spent out of each line item and what we've got left, and we seem to be right on board with that.
Any questions? Thank you, buddy.
Second.
Listening to that, and I'm wait a minute, we're in real good shape. We can go back to the drawing board.
Second. Thank you, Ben. All in favor? All opposed? All right. County mayor's report. He is not present at this time, so we'll go to the ECD Director's report.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A couple things. We've had 137 incidents since our last meeting in March, so I think that's up a little bit. We've had quite a bit of development, as you would expect. Usually across the winter months, it slows down, but springtime picks back up. So we've had 137 either addresses that were issued, subdivisions that were requested, or any IT issues that Rich would have handled at the center. 5:15 last Wednesday, we had the flood to roll through, so that was about 6 o'clock-ish, I think, and so calls started rolling in at about 6 o'clock. That's when our shift change is. We had every seat in the center that was filled, and we had a few extra people that were there also, so we had to bring out our mobile kit there and post it up and have somebody on it. So had, I think, all the command staff that was there, and like I said, several of our telecommunicators. Obviously, call volume had increased, but handled it like a bunch of bosses. So everything went well, and probably 2, 3 o'clock, most everybody no issues at all. So we did have a phone outage of just a couple of minutes. Worst possible scenario that both the Comcast and AT&T went down about the same time. Luckily, AT&T popped right back up, so our phone service, came right back online. So with no missed calls that we're aware of, but, you don't know what you don't know. So let's see, the EOC was open that night also. So Mr. Wagner had the other part of the ECC open over there for mayors to come in, anybody who wanted to be a part of the incident command. The command post itself, Rich has been out working on that. We have 2 seats in the command post, but he's been working. There have been some things that have just failed over a couple of years. We've had the command post, so he's been working with EMA to get some of that back going. And I'll expound on Rich in a few more minutes, but there's not a week that goes by that I don't get at least a couple of compliments on him. So that was a great position and a great hire that we made. I appreciate you guys letting me have that position last year. And it's nice to know. County IT has been great, don't get me wrong, but it's been nice to know that we have a systems administrator on site. I have to tell the guy at 10 o'clock at night to stop answering emails and stop working. I mean, he's just that involved, and he truly loves his job. So he's been a real asset to us there. So and that's all my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Director. Any questions? Okay, the Communications Center Director.
So as far as our staffing goes right now, as of today, we are short 5 positions, so we're in pretty good shape. We actually do have someone who is going out on the road, and he's going to finish out this week, so that at that point we'll be down 6. All of those numbers include 2 new hires that started this past Monday on the 6th. So they're currently in their first phase of training. Our next hire group is going to be next month, and we are looking at hiring 2 telecommunicators. So as long as we stay where we're at as far as our staffing goes, we'll be down only short 3 positions. And then training continues across the center, continue to cross-train our folks, and that retention is going well.
Good, thank you. Any questions? All right. Move on to old business.
All right. And
Mr. Mayor, do you have a report?
No report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir.
My apologies for my tardiness.
wouldn't believe the things that were said about you.
It's on camera.
Okay, Cat and RMS, like we just talked about, Caliber is our choice, has been our choice for a few months. We talked in January about the RFP, and ultimately we had to just get rid of the RFP because there was just nobody that fit everything that we wanted there. However, in the January meeting, you did approve for me to spend up to $1.5 million on Caliber, provided we could get all the legal mess straightened out with the RFP. Since then, as you know, we went to the Cooperative Purchasing Agreement, HGAC, which Caliber is part of. You approved that. We're all set to purchase there. As a complete, just a safety net. You all want to approve reapproves a spending of up to $1.5 million to purchase Caliber RMS and CAD through the cooperative purchasing agreement? Or do you think that what you've already voted on in January will suffice?
I don't think we've already approved it for paperwork or bookkeeping principles. I think it may need to move. I would make a motion.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, buddy. Any questions, discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right.
Thank you, Paul. I hope you read over all those agreements that I sent to you at noon and 8 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
Every word. Okay, new business, surplus inventory, about 4 sheets there, just things that we've been able to get out of the server room, or things that we found in closets that is either no good to us, it doesn't work anymore, or we can just put it on gov deals and auction it off. I also checked with county IT to see if they wanted any of this, to see if I could ask you to repurpose it. There's nothing on there that they want, so of all those things, we're going to put it on gov deals, or destroy it, or recycle it.
You need a motion?
Yes, sir.
Motion. Second. Thank you. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Thank you.
Budget transfer, I'm asking to move $180 from $42.39 to $42.52. This is to purchase 2 MiFi cards through AT&T. Rich and I have been using our personal phones for internet, either when we're off or out doing address checks or whatever, so this is $60 a month for the rest of this fiscal year, and then the new budget is, that'll cover the whole year as well.
Motion approved. Second, Ben. Thank you. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Thank you.
All right, moment you've been waiting for, the budget 24-25. Let me find my notes here. Okay, I'll try to make this real quick, so I'm going to slow down if I need to. The governor signed legislation this year which will combine our base funding, our surcharge funding, excess revenue, and controller subsidy all into one payment. So instead of the 3 different lines or 3 different payments that we would receive every 2 months, actually some every 2 months and then 2 or once a year, it's all one payment. About $2.3 million in revenue is what we're going to expect, and they took that from the highest of the last 3 years, which was last year. So that's where our revenue comes in, and we will have excess revenue, but just understand that it's going to be significantly less because excess revenue, they've anticipated that, so it's rolled into our one payment every 2 months. Okay. Expenditures, most maintenance agreements increase by 5% yearly, so that's where we increase those 5%. And Intranet has indicated some of our products like Veeam and a few others, some of our application software is going to go up significantly. I didn't see that this year, but I expect that next year in the fiscal year we'll have to pay a little bit more, so I did increase those line items. Increase some training costs for telecommunicators and our office staff, just to incentivize our telecommunicators to do a better job to get this better training. So we want to make sure that we're rewarding them by getting that extra training and the specialized training. Possible insurance increase, which is just a national trend. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Impact payments to government agencies. So I put $410,000 in there. As you know, this reimburses the county for the benefits and salaries of 4 people in the ECD office. Additionally, it gives a stipend to the county for their assistance. Now, I've talked to Director Tuttle in the IT department. We need to reimburse them about $7,800 for Arctic Wolf cybersecurity, SolarWinds ticketing system. There was we get new telephones, I believe, so services for that. Additionally, that leaves about $12,200 that we would pay the county for backup IT support. We still need that backup support there from county IT in case Rich is out of town or something. So the $20,000 is what we've agreed on that Mr. Tuttle is comfortable with. And I lost my page there. All right, so that brings our operating expenses to about $1.4 million, I believe, so which is slightly less than what we are in for our current fiscal year. As far as capital requests, and that would be, look down in the budget, I think on page 2, Under 1308 communications equipment, there's 1.5 million for caliber. And then the additional 65,000 would be for the purchase of ECC cameras. We talked about that, I think, a year or two ago, but we put that off to purchase the console management system. Also, some cybersecurity products that we'd like to purchase. Now, let me tell you about the cybersecurity stuff. So the TCB has given us $75,000, right, to make some cybersecurity purchases. It's a 75-25 split. Once we send to them a request for approval, they say, yes, you can spend that. We buy the product for the full price. Then we submit the invoices back to the TCB. They send back to us 75% of what we paid. So that's why I'm putting the full cost in 1308, because we're going to have to spend that full cost before we get reimbursed.
Mike, will we get 75% of that back, the 358?
No, it's whatever actually you would be over here.
Oh, okay,
And
okay.
yes, the current, or the proposed year.
Yeah, okay.
Well, 75% of what we spend, that's.
I got you,
Yes.
I got you, thank you.
So, and, just so one thing, well, no, never mind. Also, for the budget, we're going to purchase some more hardware monitoring devices, temperature and humidity sensors for both sites, Gallatin and Hendersonville. Heaven forbid there's a flood, or the air conditioner goes out. We want to make sure that we know about those things, so these sensors will tell us that. And that is it. That's it. So, proposal $1.4 million in the recurring expenses, and then the capital expenses just over $1.5 million. Also, sorry, one other thing. So, under the bookkeeping contract, you know what, Ms. Carolyn's going to get on to me because I need to make one change. In line, Ms. Carolyn, what was that line?
It was 4237.
4237. I need to change that from 2500 to 2508 because I failed to make that divisible by 12. So line 4237 in the proposed year is currently 2500. We're making that 2508. One other thing about COLA and additional adjustments for pay. I had originally put in for 5% COLA and a 3% additional raise for employees, which was consistent with what other county departments were asking for. I think, from what I hear, the county budget committee is probably looking at the 5% COLA, but nothing beyond that.
And it varies by department, Mr. Chairman. Some departments are getting more than the 5%. And it's really not really department, it's more people. They looked at each department and said who's above the average and below the average, etc.
Okay, all right. Nothing was said about our department. We implemented a raise last year for one position, which brought that up to what other county employees are making in that same position. I don't anticipate any other increases. So I'll say all that to say probably the 5% COLA would be the only increase for the accounting bookkeeping and for the impact payments to local governments. So that number could be adjusted once county budget figures out what they're going to do on county budget as a whole.
Okay.
Motion approved.
Thank you, Ben. Any questions? Thank you, Paul. Any questions for anybody? All in favor? All opposed? All right, unanimous, thank you.
Sir, cybersecurity grant, two things we want to go ahead and purchase. We have some FortiGate devices, which are firewall devices. We have 8 of those total across the county. There's one at every law agency and then a couple there at the ECC. They're reaching their end of life into support, so we want to go ahead and replace those. And probably next year, the other 4 will be ready for end of life into support. Those devices will cost $4,273.52. There's also another firewall device that basically protects us from the outside world, the internet, there at the ECC. That device is $2,185.79. So I have the money in the budget this year to go ahead and buy that, but I want to send that for reimbursement from the state. So I just need, if you so approve, a motion to be able to send that to the state to apply for the grant reimbursement.
So make a motion. Thank you, Paul. Second? Thank you. All in favor? All opposed? Okay, vehicle request for the chairman.
That's it, yes, sir. Hard to settle that. Again, Rich has been great. He's on call, that's part of his job description, he's on call 24/7. So, and again, the guy works all the time and doesn't put in any comp time for it. I would like to ask for a vehicle for him. I understand that a couple of county departments have some vehicles in surplus that they're going to put out or get rid of. So I would like to ask for your permission to be able to ask the county Gen Ops committee and then on to the commission to allow us to have one of those vehicles that I can assign within the scope of his employment. So,
Second.
thank you, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Ben. Any questions?
Oh,
sorry.
Not for nothing.
Any questions? All in favor? All opposed? All right. I think that's gotten us down to the last thing, Mr. Harvey Meyer.
Vice Chair.
Thank you, sir.